Welcome back to the channel, everyone. Today is a beautiful day, but the drama we are about to unpack on our favorite soap is darker than a storm cloud over the Pacific. Grab a coffee and let's get right into the absolute madness happening on our screens. So I am honestly sitting here trying to process what the writers are doing right now because my mind is completely blown. We all knew the tension between Ridge Forrester and Bill Spencer was reaching a boiling point. I mean, we have been watching this corporate and personal war escalate for weeks now, but what happened today? This is on a whole other level of crazy. And I am here for it, but I am also just so stressed out by it. Let's just dive right into the deep end. Ridge actually called Bill out to a meeting on a yacht. Yes, a yacht in the middle of the ocean. Just the two of them, to settle their debts once and for all. And guys, they both brought guns? Guns. What is this? A mafia movie? Since when do dressmakers and publishers settle their fashion house disputes with firearms? But honestly, given everything that has been going down lately, it almost makes sense in a twisted, soap opera kind of way. The hatred between these two men has been building up for years. Decades, really? But the recent stuff, it's just been gasoline on a fire. Just a few episodes ago, we saw Ridge literally punch Bill right in the face because of the whole Hope Logan defection mess. Hope leaving Forrester Creations to start Hope by Logan completely blindsided the Forresters. And Bill was just standing there gloating about it. He was so smug. Bill bankrolled the whole thing, helped Katie steal Hope, and then laughed in Ridge's face when Ridge declared an all-out war. So Ridge punching him was just the appetizer. This yacht showdown is the main course. And it's not just the business stuff, it's the families, it's the kids. Will Spencer and R.J. Forrester have been tearing each other apart. Will literally beat R.J. to a pulp at the beach house, repeatedly punched him in the face, and Ridge, acting like the ultimate hypocrite father figure, cornered Elektra and demanded she cut ties with Will forever. Ridge is acting like Will is some dangerous psychopath, while Ridge himself is out here throwing punches at Bill. The hypocrisy is just wild, but you get what I mean. The bad blood is so thick right now you could cut it with a knife, or, shoot it with a gun. So they are out there on this yacht, the middle of nowhere, no witnesses. Just two angry, aging alpha males who have hated each other for as long as we can remember. They have fought over Brooke, they have fought over companies, they have fought over their children. And now they are just standing there, armed and dangerous. And, of course, because this is the bold and the beautiful, a massive storm suddenly hits. Mother Nature just deciding to add some dramatic flair. The sky goes black, the wind is howling, the waves are crashing against the boat. It's so cinematic, it actually felt like a movie for a second. The boat is rocking violently, and these two idiots are still screaming at each other over the roar of the thunder. I can only imagine what they were saying, Ridge probably yelling about how Bill destroys everything he touches. Bill probably laughing and calling Ridge a pathetic dressmaker who couldn't even keep his own stepdaughter at his company. The tension was just suffocating. You could feel it through the screen. And then the struggle happens. I don't even know who lunged first. It was so chaotic with the rain and the dark lighting. But suddenly they are grappling. The guns are out. They are fighting for control, slipping on the wet deck of the yacht. It was messy. It was a really clunky, messy fight scene, which actually made it feel more real. And then, bang, the gunshot goes off. I literally jumped off my couch. I spilled my drink. It was that shocking. For a second, everything just stopped. The rain was still pouring, but there was this eerie silence between them. And then we see it. Ridge is hit. He is severely injured. Blood is just pouring out. He's clutching his side, stumbling back against the railing of the yacht. But wait, it gets crazier, because in the momentum of the struggle and the gunshot, Bill loses his footing. Or maybe Ridge pushed him in a panic. I don't even know. I need to rewatch it like 10 times to figure out the exact physics of it, but Bill goes over the edge. The great Bill Spencer, the dollar bill, the stallion, just falls backward over the railing and crashes into the raging, stormy ocean below. So now we have this absolutely insane situation. Ridge is bleeding heavily on the deck of a boat in the middle of a hurricane, and Bill is in the water, drowning in massive swells. And this is where the episode leaves us hanging with the biggest moral dilemma in the history of the show. Ridge stumbles to the edge, clutching his bleeding wound, and looks down into the dark, churning water. He can see Bill struggling to stay afloat. What does he do? Seriously, you guys, what does he do? Does he save the enemy who has ruined his life over and over again, or does he just let him drown? Let's really break this down, because the psychology here is fascinating. Ridge hates Bill. He genuinely hates him. Bill has manipulated Brooke. He has attacked the Forrester family. He is currently trying to destroy Forrester Creations with this new Logan fashion line. Bill is the reason Hope left. Bill is the reason Eric's haute couture show is a media flop because Logan stole all the press. Bill is the father of the kid who just beat up Ridge's son. In Ridge's mind, Bill Spencer is the root of all evil in Los Angeles. So there is a huge part of Ridge that probably wants to just watch him sink. To just stand there, bleeding, and let the ocean solve all of his problems. If Bill dies, the Logan Fashion House loses its main financial backer. The Spencer Empire is thrown into chaos. Ridge wins the war. But, and this is a massive but, if Ridge lets him die, he is a murderer, period. Even if the gunshot was an accident during the struggle, standing there and watching a man drown when you could throw him a life preserver or a rope, that is murder. That changes a person's soul forever. Can Ridge live with that? Ridge likes to act like he is the moral center of the universe. He judges everyone else so harshly. He judged Will for being violent. He judged Hope for being disloyal. He judged Donna for keeping a secret, which led to Eric firing her. Ridge always thinks he is on the high ground. But if he lets Bill Spencer drown in the Pacific Ocean, he loses that high ground forever. He becomes a monster. And think about Brooke. Oh my God, Brooke. Brooke is already away on a wellness retreat because she is so stressed out and shattered by Hope's betrayal and her fight with Katie. She violently smashed a monitor in Katie's office. She is losing her mind. Imagine if she comes back and finds out that Ridge let Bill die. Brooke has loved Bill. She has a deep, complicated history with him. She would never, ever forgive Ridge for letting him drown. It would destroy their marriage permanently. And Katie would be a widow again, basically. Will would lose his father right after losing his girlfriend Electra and having a complete violent meltdown. Will is already unstable. If he finds out Ridge was on that boat and let his father die, Will won't just punch RJ again. Will is going to go full Spencer vengeance mode. He will burn Forrester Creations to the ground. Liam and Wyatt would join him. It would be a bloodbath. The Spencer boys would not rest until Ridge was in prison or worse. So the stakes here are just astronomical. The shockwave this is going to send through both families is irreversible. There is no going back from a gunshot on a yacht in a storm. But maybe I'm being too harsh on Ridge. Maybe he won't let him die. Ridge is injured. Remember, he is bleeding heavily. Maybe he physically can't save him. Maybe he tries to reach for a rope, but his injury is too severe and he collapses on the deck and Bill just gets swept away by the current. That way, Ridge isn't exactly a cold-blooded killer, but he still has to live with the guilt of the whole situation. Or maybe, just maybe, Ridge finds the strength to pull Bill back up. Imagine that. Ridge, bleeding out, dragging his worst enemy back onto the boat. They are both laying there on the wet deck, gasping for air, bleeding, freezing. It would be such a powerful moment. Would it end the feud? Probably not. They would probably be back to insulting each other in the hospital room 2 days later, but it would be a crazy bonding moment. Honestly, I kind of want Ridge to save him. I know that sounds weird after everything Bill has done, but I don't want Ridge to become a villain. I like him better when he's just an arrogant dressmaker, not a murderer. And let's talk about Bill for a second. The man is in the middle of a storm in the ocean. He is tough. He is the stallion, but he is not a superhero. The waves looked massive. If Ridge doesn't help him, how does he survive? Does he wash up on some deserted island and get amnesia? Oh, please, writers, do not give us an amnesia storyline. We have had enough of those. But seriously, Bill is in grave danger. I just keep replaying the scene in my head. The tension was so thick. The way they were looking at each other before the guns came out. It was like all the years of fighting over Brooke, all the corporate espionage, all the insults just culminated in this one tiny space on a boat. They were trapped with their own hatred. And the storm was the perfect touch. It was so dramatic. The lighting flashes illuminating their angry faces. The rain slicking their hair down. It was peak soap opera. I know some fans on social media are complaining that it's too unrealistic, that billionaires don't just have gunfights on yachts. To which I say, have you been watching the show? We have people coming back from the dead. We have evil twins. We have mannequins coming to life. A gunfight on a yacht is practically a documentary for the bold and the beautiful. I am just so anxious to see what happens next. The cliffhanger was brutal. Ridge just looking over the edge, the blood seeping through his fingers. Bill struggling in the waves, the thunder crashing. And then the screen goes black. I screamed. I literally screamed at my TV. What were the writers thinking? They are really pushing these characters to the absolute limit. I mean, think about the ripple effect. If Ridge is severely injured, who runs Forrester Creations? Steffy is already having a meltdown, trying to do damage control for Eric's failed fashion show and Hope's defection. If Ridge is in a coma or something from the gunshot, Steffy is going to crack under the pressure. She is already so volatile, she might just snap and do something crazy to Katie and the Logan brand. And if Bill is missing at sea, Katie is going to have to run Logan Creations by herself while dealing with the grief. Will is going to spiral even further out of control. Liam is going to have to step up and be the ruthless Spencer heir, which he always hates doing. The power dynamics of the entire show are going to shift overnight based on what Ridge does in these next few seconds. It's just brilliant writing, honestly. It's messy, it's chaotic, it's a little unbelievable, but it is so entertaining. I am hooked. I am completely hooked. I keep second-guessing myself about who shot who. Did Ridge pull the trigger on purpose? I don't think so. Ridge is hot-headed, but he's not an assassin. I think they were wrestling for the gun and it just went off. But in the eyes of the law, does it matter? If they are out there illegally with unregistered weapons, fighting, it's a crime scene. Detective Sanchez is going to have a field day with this one. And how are they going to explain this to Brooke? Hey, honey, hope you enjoyed your wellness retreat. By the way, I met your ex-husband on a yacht. We brought guns, I got shot, and he fell in the ocean. Welcome home. She is going to lose her mind. She just disowned Hope. She smashed Katie's office, and now this. Brooke might actually need to be institutionalized. The poor woman cannot catch a break. I am just rambling at this point, but I have so many adrenaline-fueled thoughts. This show has been a bit slow lately, focusing so much on the fashion lines and the corporate boardroom stuff. I was getting a little tired of the endless meetings about the HFTF diamond and the press releases. But wow, they just injected a massive dose of action into the storyline. Let's just take a breath and think about the reality of the situation. Ridge has a choice: save or destroy. It's the ultimate test of character. If he saves Bill, he proves he is the better man. He proves that despite all the hatred, he values human life. He proves he is worthy of Brooke's love and Eric's respect. If he lets him drown, he crosses a line he can never uncross. He becomes exactly what he always accused Bill of being: a ruthless, heartless monster. I am praying he makes the right choice, but part of me, that dark little part of me that loves soap opera drama, kind of wants him to walk away, just to see the absolute chaos that would unfold. The Spencer Wrath would be legendary. Okay, that sounded dramatic, but you get what I mean. We watch these shows for the drama, for the high stakes. And it doesn't get any higher than life or death in a hurricane. I am going to be glued to my screen tomorrow. I need to know if Bill survives. I need to know how bad Ridge's injury is. I need to see the fallout. So what do you guys think? Did Ridge shoot Bill on purpose? Will he save him? Is Bill going to be eaten by a shark? Let me know in the comments, because I need to talk about this with people who understand my obsession. This is why we watch, people. This is the good stuff. I'm going to go pour myself a very large glass of wine and try to calm down. The tension is just too much. Until next time, keep watching, keep gasping, and remember that in Los Angeles, fashion is a blood sport.